I'm gonna take out the Johnny Dangs and put in the Geos. I'm sorry. I'm taking out these and I'm upgrading to these.
Social media was rocked by footage of a federal raid, allegations of phony diamond chains, and the closure of Johnny Deng's store. Fans wanted answers, rappers began to take sides, and the story went viral on the internet. However, the real cause of the problem is a bitter breakup from a former employee. On a Monday, $500,000. Sauce Walka is where this all begins. Rapper Sauce Walka hails from Houston. Albert Walker Mondane is his real name. Born on June 29, 1990. In 2007, he began rapping under the moniker A-Walk, ran his own label, The Sauce Factory, and formed the duo Sauce Twins with Sancho Saucy in 2014. He is well known for his jewelry. He has a reputation for spending a lot of money on jewels. And he spent that money with Johnny Deng for more than 20 years. Born Dang Quoc Hong, Johnny Deng is a Houston-based Vietnamese-American jeweler. In 1996, he left Vietnam for the United States. He began doing jewelry repairs at a flea market. After that, he set up a tiny garage workshop. Then, in 1998, he opened TV Jewelry, a store in Sharpstown Mall. When he began performing gold dental work for a dentist, clients requested diamonds on top, which is how he entered the custom grill market. He worked out how to accomplish it on his own.
You asked to see the boss? I'm Johnny Deng, the king of bling. Is on the rock.
He did not receive that title. He deserved it. His collaboration with rapper Paul Wall in the early 2000s gave him his big break and contributed to the mainstreaming of custom grills in southern hip-hop. By the 2010s and 2020s, Johnny Deng and company had several sites and catered to dozens of well-known rap artists, including Lil Wayne, Travis Scott, Drake, Cardi B, and Rick Ross. Tens of millions are thought to represent his net worth. His creations frequently cost tens of thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands, and even more for highly customized pieces.
He sponsored us, me and my brother and my mom. So our family came here, 1996.
Sauce Walker was also present from the start. According to clips, not from the start of the fame, but from the start of the grind. Sauce shared content on social media. He was acquainted with Johnny back when he sold TVs, radios, candies, and other products, and the man was still known as TV Johnny. In one video, Sauce gave a detailed account of the early days, describing how they would break into cars and steal radios to sell to Johnny Deng in order to obtain gold chains, earrings, and grills. The connection was like that. Neighborhood and street levels. Two individuals growing up in the same Houston environment. One in front of the counter and one behind it. Sauce Walker says he spent about $500,000 with Johnny Deng during their more than 20-year friendship. He didn't just throw out that amount. He reiterated it in several interviews and vids. A $500,000 Cuban chain was one among those transactions. The transaction was reportedly so big that a Chase Bank branch handled it. On a Monday, Sauce went on a shopping frenzy and spent $300,000.
I'm the one who spent the $500,000. I did that.
He likened himself to Floyd Mayweather, claiming that he was the only rapper to receive the identical jewelry.
They got the same necklace that Floyd Mayweather got.
This was more than just a consumer entering a store and purchasing an item from the shelf. This was a partnership. On social media, Johnny Deng shared videos of those purchases. In songs and appearances, Sauce called out the store. For the cameras, they flexed together. He was referred to as a day one client by Johnny. Sauce referred to Johnny as a friend. Therefore, it wasn't just a customer switching jewelers when Sauce Walker made the decision to take his Johnny Deng grills off camera, replace them with $1 million set from someone else, and then explain his actions to everyone on the internet. After 20 years, they broke up in public. Furthermore, the person he changed to wasn't just any rival. It was a man who had learned the same craft under the same roof while sitting in the same shop. Jose Mata was his name. The man who departed the store is known as Plug Geo. A former associate and former worker of Johnny Deng and Company, Plug Geo is also known online as Plug Geo. Around April 2021, he quit his job at the store to launch a rival jewelry business in Houston. Depending on who is narrating the tale, the specifics of his leaving change. The fact that he left with knowledge, expertise, and eventually clients is a constant. In the realm of handmade hip-hop jewelry, where relationships are intimate and transactions take place through handshakes and Instagram direct messages. That kind of divide occurs in a different way than in any other business. Rappers like Moneybagg Yo were among the artists Plug Gio began serving independently, which led to a direct competition with a man who educated him. In this industry, competition also doesn't remain silent for very long. Now, if not for what transpired next, Plug Gio's departure would have been a footnote. Because when Sauce Walka decided to make his move, he did not just go to another jeweler. He went to the jeweler who had already proven himself, the one who had quit Johnny Deng's shop. And the spark that ignited the whole thing was the combination of Plug Gio's insider knowledge, Sauce Walka's purchasing power, and a camera documenting everything. Sauce Walka introduced what he called the world's first permanent $1 million barbecue, made by Plug Gio in August 2024. Large 3-carat and 1-carat diamonds set in rose gold were highlighted in the jewelry. He flaunted it on YouTube and Instagram live videos. He took care to specify exactly who was contributing and who was receiving the work.
Most expensive grill, man. Sauce Walka, Plug Gio, you did.
Then he said the part that changed everything.
I'm gonna take out the Johnny Dangs and put in the Geos. I'm sorry. I'm taking out these and I'm upgrading to these.
He referred to it as an improvement. He drew the comparison with no nuance at all, putting a dollar figure of $100,000 on the old grills and a dollar amount of $1 million on the new ones.
We went from 100,000 to 1 million. You know what I'm saying? Because we had we setting the bar standard in the state of Texas so high that it cannot be beaten.
This is the point at which two distinct storylines begin to emerge. There is a tale of a devoted customer who felt he outgrew his jeweler, desired larger and better things, and used his right to transfer his funds to another retailer. Sauce Walka gives that account. Then there's another tale, the one that raises the possibility of something darker, the one that implies Sauce's departure wasn't merely motivated by his desire for a larger grill. Social media users speculated that Sauce departed because the diamonds he had been purchasing for 20 years were not what he had been assured they were. Whether Sauce made the accusation directly or it developed from the environment surrounding Plug Gio and the drama channels, it was the catalyst because the issue was no longer merely one of loyalty or rivalry. Whether Johnny Deng sold lab-grown diamonds and claimed they were natural became the question. Because of the chemical vapor deposition method used to produce them, lab-grown diamonds, also referred to as CVD diamonds, are chemically identical to natural diamonds. They have the same appearance. On the majority of common equipment, they conduct identical tests. Cost is the difference. When compared to a natural diamond of the same size and quality, a lab-grown diamond can be 70 to 90% less expensive. This implies that a piece with lab-grown stones sold at natural diamond prices has a huge markup, which could be fraudulent if the buyer was never informed of the difference. That is the main thrust of the charge. Not that the jewelry broke or that the diamonds don't look good. The premium price was alleged to represent a premium product that was never delivered. Johnny Deng himself discussed the controversy around lab-grown versus natural diamonds in an interview with KCHOU Houston in 2025. Regardless of the science, he admitted that many of his rapper clients consider lab-grown stones to be fraudulent and that they prefer genuine diamonds due to their status and rarity. GIA-certified real diamonds are promoted for numerous pieces on his website. He did not completely discount lab-grown diamonds. Recognizing the change in the market, he presented them with a more affordable option. However, his critics claimed that he crossed the line between providing them publicly and allegedly replacing them covertly. The accusation was also supported by Plug Gio, the man who sat in that shop and observed the process from the inside. He openly endorsed Sauce Walka's account of what happened. He said he was underpaid despite helping Johnny Deng make millions of dollars. Additionally, he claimed that lab-grown stones, replete with certifications, were being used and passed off as genuine. Because this was not just a random online hater, the insider angle increased the story's credibility for viewers. This person used to work there. It's another matter entirely if the accusation can be shown to be genuine, but the perception was sufficient to fuel the subsequent events. Respect my name. Everything was visible to Johnny Deng. He watched the videos. He noticed the flexing. As Sauce Walka showcased another man's work, he heard his name come out of his mouth. And he answered in a manner that only a man with 25 years of experience in the game could. He went to Instagram, faced the camera, and spoke with Sauce face to face. Sauce. Man, How long have we known each other? More than 20 years. He began by establishing the history, not the business. In a city where reputations are constructed one transaction at a time, we have known each other for 20 years. You know that I never asked for or gave you anything for free ___. That line was deliberate. I'm glad you shop with me. Any argument that their connection was transactional in a way that favored one party over the other was refuted. Every dollar that was exchanged, according to Johnny, was earned on both sides. No giveaways or favors. He acknowledged that Sauce was free to spend his money whatever he pleased. He even mentioned particular jewelers by name. It had nothing to do with losing a sale. Then the tone changed. It's not a problem. I am aware that you only paid for the grill. There is no skin. But buddy, don't be disrespectful to my name. That was the line, not the expenditure, the name dropping, the switching, or the public display of another jeweler's creations while being sure to specifically mention Johnny Deng in order to make the comparison stick. Johnny Deng was fully aware of how this game operates. When Sauce announced that he was switching from Johnny Deng pieces to Plug Geo pieces, it was no longer a private choice but rather a public declaration of the importance of Johnny's art. Can I accomplish that? Don't do that, __. I've been banging my ass for nothing for the past 20 years since I moved here from Vietnam. And he went even farther. In larger excerpts from the same set of blogs, Johnny disclosed that he had really contacted Sauce in private before any of this became public. He claimed to have phoned Sauce, invited him to supper, and even proposed that they work together on a new grill. I even give you a call and say, hey, let's go to dinner together. In order for us to earn money together, I even offered you a discount if you joined my network. Am I correct? That particular element is important because it demonstrates that the issue did not need to be made public. An off-ramp was present. Johnny made an effort to accept it. Sauce didn't. Additionally, Johnny displayed what he claimed to be the grill he had been creating especially for Sauce before to the swap. He described the technical decisions he made, discussing comfort, weight distribution, and diamond size. Everything made for a barbecue is meant to be worn all the time. I even began using a grill. Look, you were aware of that. I have a pretty unique design. Make sure it is accurate, the diamond is the right size, and it is smooth to avoid being too heavy. It was an obvious message. This jeweler was capable of delivering. This jeweler was in the middle of delivering when his client left and said to the world that he was unworthy. Then Johnny confronted the accusations head-on, dismissing a man who had heard street chatter before and watched it die rather than offering a technical analysis of lab results or diamond certifications. He was alluding to the assertions that he employed lab-grown or CVD diamonds in his work. He didn't discuss the details. He referred to it as internet noise, grouped it with other unfounded reports, and shifted the discussion back to heritage and respect. And then the section where social media becomes the story's pivotal soundbite. You have global shopping options. You know, you don't have to include my name. However, please treat my name with respect if you mention it. Respect my name. From Johnny's point of view, his statement encapsulated the whole emotional weight of the circumstance. The man on the other side exploited his name as a stepping stone for someone else's product after 20 years of friendship and commerce. Now, a dispute between a Houston jeweler and a rapper would often remain in Houston. It may go viral on drama channels for a few days before fading. However, this persisted because something else was developing while Johnny and Sauce were arguing. The story's raw material was taken by the algorithms on YouTube and TikTok. The competing jeweler, the claims of lab-grown diamonds, and the emotional reactions all contributed to the creation of something much larger and less genuine than what either side had actually stated. The deepfake apparatus. The story had evolved beyond what the initial beef could have generated on its own by the end of March 2026. Videos with names that resembled breaking news stories started to appear on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Federal officials raided Johnny Deng's Houston business. Johnny Deng's career is destroyed by rappers for selling phony chains. Johnny Deng was detained for selling phony jewelry to rappers. Numerous well-known rappers have reported fraud. An empire worth $200 million is about to fall apart. These videos were all over the place. They received hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of views. The beast was fed by anonymous aggregator pages, drama channels, hip-hop news channels, and reaction channels. The template was stable, but the quality of the manufacturing varied. The narration is given with the feverish rush of a true news story, accompanied by dramatic music and flashing red and blue lights. Photos of Johnny Deng are intercut with images of handcuffs, police tape, and courtroom sketches. The issue was that very little of it was genuine. A government raid on Johnny Deng and company was not confirmed by any reliable mainstream news source. There was no formal police report. No court records appeared. There were no confirmed arrest records found. No charge sheet, no mugshot, and no ongoing investigation verified by any law enforcement organization. By all quantifiable standards, the narrative that millions of people watched, shared, and commented on was fake. Furthermore, it wasn't only careless clickbait. AI-generated deepfake video was used in some of the content. In April 2026, the local news outlet Fox 26 Houston revealed that Johnny Deng was actively combating hyperrealistic deepfake videos that purportedly showed raids, arrests, and confessions connected to his company. These weren't crude lip-syncing fakes. The majority of individuals consumed this kind of content by scrolling quickly on their phones, and these were persuasive enough to trick them. Other names were also involved in the scandal due to the deepfakes. The Florida rapper Kodak Black, a longtime client of Johnny Deng, was abruptly mentioned in videos claiming that he had taken down his grills after learning they included lab-grown diamonds. Videos that seemed to show him distancing himself from Johnny Deng's work went viral, but they were actually repeated. A portion of it originated from a 2017 video in which Kodak had gold teeth extracted due to gum problems, which had nothing to do with the validity of diamonds. As recently as 2025, when Kodak picked up fresh personalized Skittles grills from the store and the two posed for films, the real relationship between Kodak and Johnny Deng seemed cordial. You have Johnny and myself engaged in a back-and-forth argument. Kodak has not publicly acknowledged Johnny Deng's deception in a straightforward manner. The internet has interpreted his relative silence on the subject in both ways. Some interpret it as evidence of a cover-up, while others see it as proof that nothing can be verified. However, the deepfake channels didn't require verification. All they needed was a well-known name for the thumbnail. The pioneer of the Chicago drill, Chief Keef, was treated similarly. He has a strong history with Johnny Deng that dates back many years, including studio visits and custom chain purchases. Although the video was from 2014, viral compilations from 2026 stated that Keef went to a mall jeweler to examine his jewels with a diamond tester following the scandal. In that original clip, the tester lit up green, which indicated real diamonds. The identical video was altered more than 10 years later to suggest uncertainty rather than confirmation. No reputable mainstream media outlet has verified Chief Keef's complaint, statement, or legal action against Johnny Deng. In each instance, the pattern was the same. Remove the original context from a real clip, add dramatic narration and fresh framing, upload it with an attention-grabbing title, get views, and repeat. Then there was the more general issue of how this conduct is rewarded by the algorithm. There are no clicks on a video named Johnny Deng responds to quality questions from Houston client. After rappers exposed a phony diamond fraud, Johnny Deng was jailed in a video named Breaking, earning millions of dollars. The structure of incentives is evident. The platform emphasizes claims that are more extreme. People are more likely to believe it the more the platform promotes it. Additionally, the more people believe it, the more difficult it is to distinguish between the fake raid that never occurred and the genuine conflict, which is the serious concerns about lab-grown diamonds in hip-hop jewelry. This was explicitly addressed by Johnny Deng and his group. He referred to the raid and arrest stories as fake news in video messages and on his official Instagram account, Johnny Deng and Company. He gestured to the deepfakes created by AI. He advised people to be skeptical of what they saw on unreliable social media sites. Commenters from Houston supported him, stating that the store was never raided. Business was going on as usual, and the doors remained open. However, a scandal spreads more quickly than a debunking. Videos purporting to show his store shuttered persisted. The videos of the reactions remained up. The compilation continued to run. And 10 additional people just saw the accusation for each person who saw his response. What is true in reality? This is the current situation. The incendiary assertion in the title, that the Johnny Deng business was shut down for selling phony chains, is untrue. The shop remained open. A raid, an arrest, or a forced shutdown are all unjustified. According to Fox 26 Houston, AI-generated deepfake material intended to harm his reputation was the driving force behind the raid and arrest tales. Johnny Deng is his official website. .com is still operational. He still shares celebrity showcases and new pieces on Instagram. By every measurable standard, business has continued. That does not imply that the narrative was created at random. There is a valid and significant concern regarding transparency in the bespoke jewelry sector regarding the true basis of all the fake content. Lab-grown diamonds are authentic. They resemble mined diamonds in every way, chemically, physically, and visually. They are acknowledged as authentic diamonds by the Federal Trade Commission. It's an economic difference. Due to their scarcity and high extraction costs, natural diamonds are highly valued. The cost of producing lab-grown diamonds is far lower. Therefore, the consumer has paid a premium for something that does not justify the premium when a jeweler sells a piece at a price that reflects the rarity of genuine diamonds and the stones turn out to be lab-grown. That is at the heart of the ethical controversy, which goes much beyond a single Houston jeweler. Johnny Deng candidly discussed this change in a 2025 interview with KCHOU Houston. He admitted that the market is shifting, that lab-grown diamonds are becoming more common, and that many of his well-known rapper clients deliberately choose natural stones because they consider lab-grown to be inferior. Both solutions are available at various pricing points on his company's website. Many of his diamond items are advertised with GIA and IGI certifications. Although this transparency does not absolve him of all private transactions, it does show that he was not concealing the discussion of lab-grown diamonds in his company. The Sauce Walka predicament is genuine. The 20-year partnership is genuine. At the very least, the $500,000 in expenditures is genuine. There is a true transition to Plug Geo. The public outcry is genuine. The emotional reaction of Johnny Deng is genuine. There is genuine pain and annoyance on both sides. The deepfake computer required that Beef's genuine emotional core to construct something much bigger and far less truthful around it. The accusations stated by Plug Geo are true because he made them in public. It is another question entirely whether they can be proven to be accurate. As of mid-2026, no significant lawsuit, court document, or government inquiry linking Johnny Deng to systematic diamond fraud had been reported by any reliable news outlet. Although public opinion is not a courtroom, the insider perspective gave the story legitimacy there. The majority of the rapper reaction videos, the compilations alleging widespread indignation, and the testimonies from well-known figures were content farming. Stitched together with engagement-optimized titles and dramatic voiceover are recycled video. There was no concerted public statement by former clients, nor was there a confirmed surge of lawsuits from rappers. Kodak Black continued to purchase grills. The video of Chief Keef's 10-year-old diamond test was repackaged as breaking news. Simply put, the enormous migration that the internet had predicted did not occur. What actually transpired was that an online ecosystem that prioritizes indignation above reality took control of a genuine business quarrel between a jeweler and his most vocal local client, which was magnified by a rival with a grudge. The fabrication was made simpler and more plausible using AI techniques. Because controversy works, platforms magnified the content, giving millions of people a version of events that barely resembled reality. The controversy surrounding lab-grown diamonds in hip-hop jewelry is a legitimate problem that merits thorough reporting. It is worthwhile to inquire as to whether celebrity jewelers, not just Johnny Deng, but the whole network of bespoke high-end jewelers, sufficiently disclose their origins. The answer won't come from a deepfake video with 1 million views and no sources, but it will likely cause discomfort for multiple names in that industry. It will originate from contracts, independent evaluations, certificates, and if required, legal proceedings. The business owned by Johnny Deng is open. The internet has already moved on to the next scandal, but his name is still on the building.